I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space.
What up, what up? This is your boy Rob Clark, welcoming you to the 22 November Network. Get ready for another exciting edition of the Lone Gunman Podcast, featuring me, that's right, your boy Rob Clark, coming at you. Stay tuned. Be right there. Oh yeah, the mic is on, the mic is hot, and welcome to the show, everybody. I've got a good one for you today. It's a beautiful day where I'm at, and hopefully it's a beautiful day where you're at. Couldn't ask for better conditions. This is episode 59 of the Lone Gunman Podcast, and my guest today is Mr. Larry Names. He is a prolific author of over 40-some books. There's one in particular I wanted to talk to him today about, and that's called the Oswald Reflection. And please do refer back to the webpage for links to all of Larry's stuff, and also where you can buy the Oswald Reflection on Kindle and in physical form. And Larry is a great guy. He's a stand-up guy, and just to let you all in on something, when I called Larry, he was on his way to the hospital. He was having some chest pains, and I told him, I said, man, we don't have to do this today if you don't want to. And he said, no, I got a long ride to the hospital. He said, let's do it. So this is the kind of guy that Larry is. He's a good guy, and he doesn't miss many interviews for anything. So please do enjoy the show. I didn't get to talk to him as long as I'd like to, but I promise I'm going to have him on again. He's not done writing about the Kennedy assassination, hopefully. And he also has many personal ties to it and has met a lot of people with attachments to it. So please do enjoy the show. This is Mr. Larry Names. Hang around to the end. I'll wrap it up for you. But again, head back to the website. I'm going to link up all Larry's stuff there, and it'll be one click away if you want to get it. I know on Kindle it's pretty cheap. I think it's only like $4 or $5. Do yourself a favor and get it. You won't regret it. Please enjoy the show, everybody. This is Mr. Larry Names.
What's up, everybody? This is Rob Clark. We're back on the Lone Gunman Podcast for episode number 59 already. I can't believe it. It's almost a 1-year anniversary. And today I have a very, very special guest, somebody who I've been wanting to talk to for a long time and haven't really had the technical capability to do it until now. I talked about one of his books on a previous show called the Oswald Reflection, which is what I call a faction book. It's fact-based fiction, but it does have some real elements to my guest. And his name is Larry Names. He is the author of a lot, of at least, 40 or so nonfiction and fiction books. He knows a little bit about the Cubs and the White Sox and the Green Bay Packers. So that makes him a good guy in my book. Welcome to the show, Mr. Larry Names. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Rob. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia, and I'm sure it's pretty nice up there in Wisconsin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, flying around, and it's pushing 60 degrees. Actually, it's 64.
Oh, man.
It's sunny, and it's a beautiful spring day.
That's shorts weather up there, isn't it?
Yeah, we get the carcass when it's about 35. So.
Exactly. Now, the reason I reached out to Larry last year because I really, really enjoyed his book, the Oswald Reflection. What's that, Larry?
Thanks for that, Rob.
Oh, no problem. And I tracked him down on Facebook and I talked to him a little bit, and he was kind enough to even let me call him and talk to him in person. And we had a very fascinating conversation, and the book actually went a whole lot deeper than I realized as I came to find out, as Larry will tell you as we go on here about his personal experiences. But Larry, if you could, for all our listeners, just briefly tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what piqued your interest with the Kennedy assassination.
Well, first of all, I'm old. I've been around since, God says, first make it mud. But anyway, yeah, I'm, where to begin? There's so much to tell. I once did an interview for when I was coaching high school football, and I was the new coach on the block, and so the school paper did an interview on me, and this young lady interviewed me for an hour and a half, and she says, I got to get back to class. And I said, well, only up to my 25th birthday. And she did say, I've been one of those people who've been very fortunate. I've done a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, met a lot of great people and important people over the years. It's just, and I remember just about everything. So, the memory chips in my head have not worn out yet.
Well, that's good.
But as far as the JFK assassination, my first interest in President Kennedy was when I was in 7th grade, when I was in a class full of Republicans, and so was our teacher. And so being one of the 2 or 3 kids in the class whose parents were Democrats, I got assigned John Kennedy to do a biography on him when he was running in the primaries in the spring of 1960. And that's when I first got to know John Kennedy. And as a kid, he became kind of a hero for me. And, and then, like just about everybody who was cognizant of being alive, back on November of 1963, I know exactly where I was sitting and exactly how I reacted when the news came that the president had died. And anyway, it really upset me because this was one of my boyhood heroes. I had a lot of sports figures who were my heroes, but he was the first political figure that was a hero for me. And of course, it really affected a lot of people. Well, I've always been kind of an emotional person, and very strong feelings about a lot of things. I couldn't sleep for 2 days, and so I got in the habit at an early age, about 11 or so, of writing my feelings down on paper, and after I did, I felt much better, and I go to sleep. And, I could cope again. So I sat down, and I wrote a letter to make-believe newspaper editor someplace in America, not really addressed to anybody in particular, and expressed my feelings. And I signed it an American Youth, and just left it on my desk. I felt better about it. Went to school the next day, got home, and my dad says, "Did you write that?" And I went, "Oh, now what have I done?" I thought I was in trouble. And I said, "What?" And he said, "That letter about President Kennedy." "Oh, yeah, I guess I did." So, and he says, "I'm really proud of you, son." And it's one of the few times he ever said that to me. But I remember it. So, and then I thought that was the end of it. A couple of weeks later, one of my classmates comes to me and says, "Did you really write that letter about Kennedy?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And because I kind of put it out of my mind. Well, as it turns out, my dad had taken the letter to his boss. His boss had his secretary type it up, mimeograph it off. Remember, this was 1963 in copy machines, and we're in the yet.
Right.
Everything was done on mimeographs. And they made, I don't know how many copies, but his boss had them mailed all over the country to all sorts of people. And I have no idea at it. And because the next thing I knew, I got a postcard in the mail from Art Linkletter, from,
Wow.
the kids say the darndest thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was personally signed, had his picture on it, and I'm going, and he says, I'm proud of you, as American. He says, keep up the good work. Sincerely yours, Art Linkletter. And wow, that was kind of a surprise. Well, then the mail started coming from all over the country, and then I got the fax from my dad what he'd done, and so that got me sent to Boy State the next summer, where I got to play the government up in Sacramento, California, and started my career, I guess. The first time I'd ever been published, I was 11, and I've been writing stuff ever since. So, and I always had this interest in the president. And then when Mark, I can't think of this last name.
Mark Lane?
Mark Lane, thank you. And my Kibitzer's driving the car right now. So anyway, she helps you when your brain is so full of information, it takes time to drag it out sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I got rushed to judgment, and I struggled to read it, but I read it, and like a lot of America, and boy, it raised so many questions that made me start thinking. But I really didn't do anything about it until 1976, and I had a friend who was a stockbroker, and he said to me, Larry, you got to talk to this guy. He says, this guy's got some of the wildest stories you're ever going to hear. And I said, really? He said, yeah, well, I didn't talk to him. And finally, he called me, and I'm just going to give you his name, Dave, and let it go at that, because
Right.
He may still be alive. I don't know. But anyway, he calls me and he says, we need to talk. I got some stuff I need to tell someone who could write it down. And I went, well, okay. Well, that day before this, that afternoon, I was working at the Phoenix Gazette in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was in the circulation department. And one of our reporters was blown up. His name was Don Bolts. He was blown up in his car that day.
Wow.
But he had survived the blast. And he was in the hospital. They were trying. He was, really in serious care. He died 3 days later. But they did everything they could to save him. It didn't happen. Well, this is what prompted Dave to call me. He says, I know who killed Don Bolts. And I said, okay, really? And he says, and I got some other things. So we got together. We met at a restaurant where my wife, Steve, was working, and then we went from there to her aunt's house. And Dave had a six-pack of beer with him. And so he started talking, and we started listening. And he did, like my stockbroker friend said, this guy had some of the strangest stories. And so I said, we listened, and we listened, and we listened. And he kept going back in time. Then he'd come forward, then he'd go back in time, come forward. And he talked about the Bay of Pigs. He talked about the assassination of John Kennedy, the assassination of Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King, the attempt on George Wallace's life.
Right.
And he talked about Don Bolts, and he says, these are the people who are behind all this. And he says, it's such a vast conspiracy. They're never, ever going to be able to figure out everybody who's involved. He's just telling us all this stuff. He even told us about Watergate before, a lot of the stuff had come out.
Right.
And he's telling us, but then he told us why, Watergate, and everything. it wasn't just so they could spy on the Democrats. One of President Nixon's benefactors was really upset that he made because he made détente with the Chinese and with the Russians, and he was not happy about this, and so he says, well, Kennedy, I guess I'll take care of you too, but can't assassinate you because that'll make you a hero. I don't want to do that. So anyway, they did Watergate, and we all know that, that part of history. Well, I, didn't put a lot of store into what Dave was telling us at the time, because a lot of it was so fantastic, it's just unreal. But then things started happening. And then this leads you up to where my book begins. And it begins with this phone call from my sister, actually from my sister,
Right.
who my brother-in-law had been in the Marine Corps with Lee Harvey Oswald. I didn't know that. He never said anything.
Yeah.
And my sister's telling me about this, and I'm going, really? Well, pretty much like our hero in the Oswald reflection does. I quit my job, and I went in search of this. Like Tom Regan does in the book, I took most of the trip that he takes, to go find this story. What I did is I took the trip with my father-in-law, and we went out west, and while he was visiting his brothers and stuff, I was doing other things, and putting all these pieces together. There are some things that happen in the book that I'm pretty sure you will recognize as fiction, because they kind of help color up the story a little bit. Anyway, the facts I found out about Oswald and about other people connected to him, everything I say about the Oswald and the assassination that's in that book is something I got from somebody, some real person.
Right.
So, read the book, that's what you're going to find. And it's just that a lot of these people, I changed their names and some of their personal history, and, so nobody's time to recognize them. And some of those people have now passed on, and there's some other people I've met along the way, and some other things I found out along the way. Besides my brother-in-law having served in the Marines with Oswald in Japan, I've found out that another sister worked for Jack Ruby at the Carousel Club.
Oh, wow.
And she was, she actually told me, she said, all that stuff that they said in the Warren Commission about Oswald, wasn't part of all that. Didn't know these people and so on and so forth. She said, I served drinks to Oswald and Jack Ruby and Officer Tippett that we
Right.
and at the same table. So they knew each other. So you can't tell me there wasn't some kind of conspiracy.
Yeah, that definitely sheds a new light on things there.
Oh, well, my wife just reminded me, I did finish with Dave. The reason we started, that's it, yeah. Up until, for quite a while, like I said, quite a while, I didn't put too much stock in what Dave was telling us. But then 9 months later, they arrested the guy he said had done the job
Right.
on Don Bolt. And that kind of shocked us, So we started. That's what prompted me to start wondering what else was actually true. Yeah, because he was telling us about the assassination itself. About the President Kennedy assassination, and every once in a while he'd say or we, and he'd say I mean these guys, and then he'd backtrack and or change the subject. And he'd slip up, and I'm thinking, well, I guess that beer kind of loosens the tongue a little bit.
Yeah.
And because about the Oswald, or the assassination outside of West Virginia up until then. And he was telling us about triangulated fire and, military presence in Dealey Plaza that day and so on and so forth. Well, since then, I have come to know a military man, a former military man, who was at Dealey Plaza that day.
Oh, really?
And he wasn't there, just as a casual, tourist or anything. He was there on duty. And that's all they'll tell me.
Huh.
Because it's just like anything else. You get a clearance, from the military. You're sworn to secrecy for life.
Right.
And until the government says, okay, now you can talk about it. I know a couple of other gentlemen who have these gaps in their lives that they won't tell me about. And yet I know that from another guy who, believe it or not, used to live only like 5 miles from my house, and who was, as he said, I was a spook, and we all know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked him some questions that had nothing to do with anything he had done. And he said, he would say, he had met some guys that, he knew were there at Dealey Plaza. He says, there was a military presence there. And this is why, just out of the blue, all these guys suddenly started, going up to people saying, hey, I'm with the FBI, or I'm with this or that, or I'm with the government, I'm going to need your camera. And they were taking everybody's cameras, and can you imagine what they do today? We'll need your cell phone, And, they'd be snatching everybody's cell phone right on the spot, taking a picture.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it's just such a vast conspiracy. There's no one person to blame. There's no one group to blame. It's just there's a lot of people having axes right. And if you get it, the way you kill a snake is you cut its head off. And to them, that's what you do. That's what they get. And because Bobby was soon out of the Attorney General's office and into the running for the Senate in New York. So when they got rid of him because he was going to be the next president.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
If he'd been running up one-on-one on Nixon, he'd have crushed him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So I don't think George Wallace would have run.
No.
Yeah, he probably would have stayed out of it as a third-party candidate. So anyway, over the years, just out of the blue, sometimes I meet somebody, talk to someone says, hey, I know a guy, and I talk to the guy and find out something. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure your book's been around for almost 40 years now. I mean, I'm sure people that know you've written that book have approached you over the years.
Well, the original title was Twice Dead.
Right.
But I rewrote the book and added some other information that I picked up along the way over the years. And so, that, in fact, in 1977, I wasn't much of a book author when I wrote that book. And now, 41 books later, I know a little bit more about writing.
Yeah.
So, it's a better story. Like I said, there's more information in it. So if you read the first one, if you read Twice Dead, come back and read the Oswald Reflection, because you're going to get more stuff.
Right,
So,
the revised edition.
It's available through Amazon. So.
Most definitely, and I'll put links up to your book and your author page and everything where they can find all your other books as well too. When I post this, Larry.
So I appreciate that, Rob.
Yeah, no problem. So let's get back to the Oswald Reflection for a bit, because I know from reading it, and from where we're at in your narrative here, that there was some interesting things that probably happened over in Japan. Maybe you could tell people a little bit about that. Martin Strand, a couple of those weird events that happened over there.
Well, yeah, that's my brother-in-law and a couple of his buddies that I talked to that were over there at the same time. They would talk about that part of it, because they said that and everything they told me about what happened in Japan that I put that's in the book really happened. And this there was this guard that was killed in the Philippines. This was during the time of the threat against the two islands off Formosa, Matsui and Matsui and Lemoyne.
Right.
And the Red Chinese were threatening these islands. We had a military alert. I can remember that when I was just 11 years old.
Right.
That was all going on. Everybody was worried about we're going to go to war again, just like Korea. And, it didn't happen, fortunately. And then, like the Cuban Missile Crisis, I'm going, everybody's all nervous about it. I'm 15 years old at that time, and I'm going, I said, you really think, I actually said, I had a good teacher, a freshman in high school, who was a world history teacher. And he used to make jokes about being afraid of World War III with the Russians. He said, the Russians have too much to lose now. And countries that have a lot to lose don't go to war. That's all there is to it. And not with another country that has, a lot to lose too.
Right.
So I just said, the Russians, somehow or another, they're going to find a way for both of us to back down and back away from this. And it's just that there's too much to lose. They're not going to fight over a little piece of dirt like Cuba. That's all there is to it. So anyway, I heard my friend about being nervous about that. But what was going on in the Far East in 1958, 69, 60, and what they did with Oswald, boy, this is this thing. My brother-in-law did tell me, and the former CIA agent that I this near me confirmed this. He said back then they were always looking to get guys who had top secret clearances and good military records or some specialty to be to join the CIA after their military time was over,
right,
or even before it was over.
Yeah.
And my wife had a relative who we know that after his Marine career was over, he was part of the CIA for a while because there's a gap in his life he never would talk about. So evidently he told somebody else that I know, because that somebody told me about it. I suppose maybe if I drank with him, he probably would have told me too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just that's the way they did things back then. That's how they would get these guys, especially guys who could speak another language or had an aptitude for learning foreign languages.
Which we know Oswald did.
But Oswald learning Russian on his own, I kind of find that hard to believe. Somebody had to be teaching him pronunciation. And you can learn to read a language, you can learn to write a language, but you have to have someone teach pronunciation.
Right.
If you're going to speak that language. And he spoke more than a passable Russian when he went to the Soviet Union. So it wasn't the best Russian, but it was still passable.
Right.
And of course he was an American. And who's going to tell? And then he did other things in Japan that they really going, how come this guy's getting into these private clubs over there in Japan? And they're not. And he's being seen with these rather attractive Japanese women. And they're going, and he's not paying for them. And that's what's really amazing about the whole thing. So there's just so many things. There's so many questions about Oswald that somebody was handling him, and he became expendable somehow or another along the way. And like I said in the book, he figured out what was going on, and he changed sides basically. And I don't want to give everything away from the book. I want people to read it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's evidence to support a lot of this stuff. It's just trying to fix up the writers. Another writers. You remember in JFK the movie, Joe Pesci's playing Ferry, and he says, how did he put it? It's a riddle wrapped up in an enigma. I don't know, something else.
Yeah.
Something along the line. That's what the whole conspiracy is. It's like a 5,000 word or 5,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. That's all one color. You try to put it together. It's just going to take forever if you can ever get it together.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So, yeah. And it's, and everybody's got their theory. It's just like, what's that old thing about the seven wise men describing an elephant? and one of them's got the trunk, another one's got the tail, another one's got an ear, and each one of them has a different image in their mind of what this creature is. Well, that's exactly what this conspiracy is.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And I was talking to another author, Adam Go Rightly. He wrote a book about Kerry Thornley, and who was also in the Marines with Oswald, and was also in New Orleans at the same time, the summer of '63. And he uncovered that E. Howard Hunt was actually in Japan in the late 50s at Asugi.
I haven't come across that, but I'm pretty sure he probably was. Howard Hunt was a classic spook from his time.
Oh, most definitely. And I also ran across not too long ago, Larry, the fact that Martin Strand was supposedly a good friend of Oswald's and actually rode with him from Florida to Mississippi when they were doing their radar training, before they went to Japan, which I didn't know.
Well, I can't think of that officer's name. The one that I called my sister, or talked to my sister, my brother. His name escapes me right now. But anyway, he said when he heard the story about Strand, he said he couldn't find any military record of it. So he said, so who was this guy? Or was he for real? And, were these guys making this up? But he got confirmation that there's no physical evidence to support this guy ever existed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I can't. Well, it's just there's so many books I've read. I hardly remember any of the authors' names.
I know.
Martin Twain, that's about it. Yeah. There's just too many books. And there's some of them that are just so off the wall fantastic that, where do these people come up with these ideas,
Oh,
and
I know.
make these assumptions. The one that really, the guys that get me, they all want to say, there was no conspiracy. Oswald did it all by himself. Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to one of those guys 2 weeks ago, and he's a friend of mine, and I didn't really attack him on the whole point, but we had a slight discussion about it on the show. And I got another guy coming up who approached me. He said he wanted to come on and be a little bit more argumentative about things, and I said, okay, we can do it if you really want to. So hopefully that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. I'll be getting into it with the Lone Nutter.
Well, I'm going to have to listen to your show more often now.
Oh, most definitely.
Anyway, Rob, I hate to cut this off. We're on our way to the hospital because I'm having chest pain.
That's yeah, I know, and I really appreciate you doing this for me, Larry. And maybe
It's been a pleasure. I in all my career, I don't think I've missed more than 3 or 4 shows in all that time, and I've done hundreds of radio shows and interviews, and those Packer books have gotten a lot of airtime.
yeah,
But so is Oswald. When it first came out back in '78, we toured the country, and just about everybody, because the hearings were going on at that time,
right.
and just about every radio station that we contacted said, "Oh yeah, when can you be here?" And so, I showed up, and I got canceled from the large station down in Louisville because it was it was the jury had come back from the Patty Hearst trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they were going to have, they just had that, and they had somebody else that was more up to date, something current instead of, history here. And I got bumped. And I realized, and they just couldn't find any place. The next couple of months, I was on my way to Louisville. They called me the night before.
Oh.
And said, "We're sorry, but we're going to have to bump you back to something else." And so anyway, stuff happens.
Yeah.
But then I did cancel a show out in Indio, California, and that's about it. So all the rest of the time, if I can't be there in person to talk, then I'll be on the phone with you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anytime you want me, just give me a holler.
okay, we'll do. You go get that ticker taken care of, and hopefully you're just fine, and it's just a scare.
Yeah, it's just I'm 68 years old.
Yeah.
And,
Don't take any chances.
yeah, I'm just if the one time it went, I go, okay, I have gas, but this has been 3 days in a row, so this eats or something up.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're gonna go I'm gonna get it checked out.
Yeah, but I'll post links up for your book and everything else. They can head straight to Amazon and get it, and check out all your other stuff too there, Larry. And once again, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us a little bit about it today.
You're a good guy, Rob. It's a pleasure.
Hey, my pleasure too. You take care of yourself, Larry. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, this is your boy back with you. And I just want to let everybody know, I talked to Larry today, and he is fine. He must have had a bad burrito or something to have acid reflux for 3 days. But his ticker is just fine. Larry is going to be with us for hopefully quite a long time yet, and hopefully in the near future come back on the Lone Gunman podcast, and we can pick up where we left off. Larry's a good guy like that. Like I said, and when I talked to him before, he was telling me he once did an interview, I think was for 8 hours straight overnight. So, Larry's the kind of guy I can wind up and let him go. And, it was great having him on the show. And I would encourage everyone, please check out his book. He's one of the rare people with actual real-life experiences that can translate them into the written word and it be an entertaining and enthralling story and narrative. And people that are listening to this show, they're interested in the JFK assassination. That's what this book is about. It's about Oswald. It's about events surrounding it that personally happened to Larry and that Larry has personal knowledge of. So please, I would encourage everybody out there to help support Larry. Go pick up his book. Like I said, it's on Kindle and in paperback, and I'll put up links on the website. Everybody go check it out. Send Larry some love. Let him know you appreciated the interview. And that's it for today, people. This sumbitch is in the can, beamed up this satellite down directly to your ears. This is your boy Rob Clark on the Lone Gunman Podcast, episode 59, Wrapped. Peace. I smell a battle brewing. It's coming, people. Stay tuned.